which is being used as a backup for EB source. Whenever EB supply fails, then we have to start this DG as a backup source. And this DG set has two machines, a diesel engine as a prime mover and an alternator or a AC generator which is coupled to the shaft of this engine. As that working principle says, this generator is a machine which converts mechanical energy in electrical energy. In order to supply mechanical energy, this diesel engine is being used as a prime mover. When it runs at the speed of 1500 RPM, then generator, AC generator or alternator also runs at the same speed. Then as per the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, it links with the magnetic lines of force and the voltage is induced in the generator that can be collected from the terminals of the generator, that is 3-phase 450 volts. So this is how this converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. And since this engine, it has more than 1000 parts compared to the DG generator, each and every part must function to use engine, to run engine. In order to check this, we have to conduct some test to ensure whether DG will function or not whenever it is required. So there are 4 tests to be conducted. These are tests also called as checks. One A check, B check, C check, and a D check. And the first A check, this A check is also called as daily check, which is mandatory and which is very, very important and must and should. Usually, the staff member who is in particular handling that shift, that person should conduct this test, in which we have to check so many parameters. Instead of checking each and every part of the engine, there are some prescribed things to be checked in the engine. In case if these points are okay, so then that is understood, the engine will work. The procedure for this, there is an SOP, standard operating procedure for this to check this engine. Before starting this A check, we have to keep the selector switch in manual mode. As far the safety is concerned, it is better to change this switch to the manual mode. Normally, it will be kept auto mode. Then after changing this selector switch to the manual mode, first you have to check the water level in the radiator. Radiator is a very important part in the DG engine. So it takes the fresh air from outside to cool the engine, and also it radiates this hot air to the environment. It's like a exhaust fan like. This radiator fan is coupled to that main shaft of the engine. Anyhow, it is running at the speed of 1500 RPM, so that the fan also runs at the speed of 1500 RPM, and it works as a cooling fan as well as an exhaust fan also. Check the radiator, water level in the radiator. If it is below the prescribed, that is as per the required level, then we need to fill that water along with the coolant. And next, the engine oil level. We have to check the oil level in the engine. Normally, the engine will be in the sump at the bottom of the engine. We have to check this level of the oil, as the oil is required to lubricate the engine when the engine is in running condition. And there is a tool to check this. In case, as per the test, the level of the oil in the sump is below required level, we need to fill the oil. And the next, diesel level. This is a fuel which is used to run the engine. This is very, very important. We have to check the level of the fuel in day tank. Normally, this day tank is directly connected to the engine. we have to check the level of the diesel in this. This level of the diesel must be 75% of the capacity of the tank, irrespective of the capacity of the tank. It should be 75%. It should be filled with 75% of the diesel in the tank. If it is less than that, we have to fill the diesel. Then we have to check for this cleanliness of air filter. See the condition of healthy condition of the air filter. In case if it is choked, if it is filled with the dust, we have to clean that air filter and it should be refixed. Because engine takes fresh air when it is running condition. So that one side the air is supplied and the other side the diesel is supplied. Both are required to run the engine. It will help to run the engine. And the next, battery is very, very important part. You have to see the healthy condition of the battery. In that we have to check so many parameters in the battery. That is, we have to check first the voltage level of the battery. It should be 24 volts and plus, more than 24 volts, 2-3 volts more than 24 volts. If it is less than that, we have to connect the charger and we have to charge the battery. And we need to check the specific gravity by using one specific instrument. It is called a hydrometer. And we have to check the electrolyte level inside the shells. If it is less than that required level, we need to fill the liquid into that. That is to increase the level of the electrolyte. And we need to check the terminals for loose connections. The battery terminals are connected to that one starter. It is called as a self starter to start the engine at the initial stage. And we need to check the proper connections for. And if there is any loose connections, we need to tighten it properly to avoid the spark, since the battery supplies very high current at the initial stage. And next, check the belt conditions and replace if it is required. Whenever this main shaft is running at the speed of 1500 RPM, in order to utilize this mechanical energy, so many other machines are connected to the shaft through belt. In that, for example, this radiator fan also. Another one very, very important device, it is a dynamo and DC generator, small DC generator is connected and connected with the belt to this main shaft. When the engine is running condition, this generator, DC generators also works, and whatever the DC voltage produced with this generator is directly fed to battery, so that it will charge the battery and it make it ready for the next use. Then after completing all these checks, tests, we have to clean the engine and generator. Then we have to check one more very, very important test, that we have to switch on this DG and we have to run this set for a few minutes. Instead of checking all these parameters, it is required to test entire DG set by running for few minutes. The purpose of running this running is called as idle running. The purpose of running this generator DG set in idle is to find out and locate if there is any internal parts inside the generator, and also to find out if there is a leakage. Normally the water and the diesel and the engine oil is, these three liquids are being used in the engine. So whenever an engine is in running condition, all these three will be circulated throughout the engine inside. If there is any leakage, this will come to know when the engine is in running condition. This is the purpose we have to run the engine, to identify the faults, internal faults, and also to check the leakage. Then after running that for a few minutes, then switch off, and you should not forget to change the position of the selector switch to auto mode. And this check is called as a routine check or a check or daily check. This must, it is a mandatory. In case everything is all right, the generator must work, it will work. And in case if there is any abnormalities found, then we have to report this to the concerned person, supervisor or engineer or manager. This is about A check. And the second one is a B check. This B check should be carried out after running the engine, after running the DG set for 250 to 300 hours or 6 months whichever comes early. In this test, we have to replace the engine oil completely, remove the old oil from the sump, clean the sump, then fill the new oil. And the second one, replace the diesel and oil filters by new one. Diesel filters and oil filters. These two filters are completely sealed devices. We have to remove these two details, and these two details, the filter should be replaced by new. And the air filter, there is one more filter called air filter. This is case to case. In case if it is badly choked and badly damaged, if it is really required to replace, it should be replaced, or otherwise, usually in V-check, this will be cleaned and it will be refixed. That depends on the customer's decision requirement. Then after completing this, again you have to complete A-check process. This is about B-check. And one more check, that is C-check. This should be carried out after running this DG set for 1500 hours. In this, the main checks are, we have to check the coupling alignment. Anyhow, if you run this diesel engines, when it is the engine is coupled to the generator for 1500 hours, when it runs at the speed of 1500 RPM, due to that vibration, naturally there is a chances of misalignment in the coupling. In order to set it right, we have to check the alignment. If it is required to set it, we have to set it. Or otherwise, it will damage the bearings of even position bearings of the generator as well as the engines. And then checking the foundation bolts and nuts. Chances are they, due to the vibration, there will be a problem. So that we have to check and we have to tighten this bolt and nuts of the foundation bolt. And the checking and replacing gaskets, washers, bolt and nuts, wherever it is required to be replaced, all these things should be replaced. Then after completing this task, we have to complete B check again, and then A check. This is about a C check. And the last and the final one, and very, very important one, is a D check. This will be carried out after completing 2500 hours and above. Here the entire parts of the engine will be dismantled and almost all the parts will be kept outside, and it will be test each and every one carefully, including nozzles, injectors, everything will be replaced in case if it is required. And after replacing all the required parts, if it is required to be replaced, then the engine will be reassembled. Even brazing and welding is required for this crankshaft also, it will be done. After assembling this engine, then we have to carry out this C check, then B check, and then C check. This is the final check which is carried out on the engine. It is called as overhauling, complete overhauling. So once it is been done, so the engine will get a new life. It will become like a new engine. And of course, this is expensive. In case if we carry out A check and B check frequently, then this check it is not required. So that A and B check, of course, even C check also is very, very important. So these are all the frequent checks to be carried out. Then come to this DG on load. While running this, while starting, in case if the EB fails, we can operate this engine in two methods, automatically as well as manually. In most of 99% it will be started automatically only. When it starts automatically, first three things should be noted. First, engine speed. The speed of the engine must be 1500 RPM. And the frequency will be 50 cycles per second, 50 hertz. Then the terminal voltage of the generator, it must be 415. If the speed and frequency is exactly equal to the required value, then automatically this terminal voltage will be maintained at 415 volts. After confirming these three readings, then we need to connect the load on the generator. This will be done automatically. Their automatic sensor will be there. These sensors will scan, for example, ATS and auto mains failure, AMA panels. So it will scan all these parameters, everything is okay, then it automatically will connect the load and automatically it closes all the breakers, load breakers. In case if it fails, the operator must know how to operate it manually. Then once the DG started running with the load, we have to observe some very, very important parameters like check the voltage in all the three phases after connecting the load. Then note down the load current in each and every phase, and note down the frequency, and note down the kilowatts in load, that is a power, and kV also, and very, very important kWhr. This is very, very important. We should record how many units we are going to generate when EB fails, because this is a statutory requirement. It should be submitted to the EB office once every month without fail. And some other very important points we need to note, that is lube oil pressure. When the engine is running condition, when the engine oil will be circulating throughout the engine, then the pressure will vary according to the load. The fixed load pressure indicator that will record this lube oil pressure, we have to note it. And water temperature also, as the temperature increases when the engine is running, the DG is running with the load. And of course oil temperature should be recorded, and of course speed also. In case the load is exceeding than its limit in the sense each and every device, power devices, power sources, whether it is a transformer or DG or UPS, it should be loaded within 80% only. Load should not be increased on these devices above 80%. If the load increases on these devices above 80%, it's called as overload. It is nothing but we are overloading these machines. That should not supposed to be. And there is a device called OLR which senses this. If it exceeds above 80%, automatically it will trip the engine, it will trip the DG from the and disconnect the load. Before it is going to happen, we have to observe the load. That is the reason we have to note down the readings of each and every phase in all the three phases. In case if it is going to reach 80%, before reaching the 80%, we have to start one more DG and we have to share the load on these two DGs. That is called as a synchronizing operation. The synchronizing operation is nothing but running two DGs in parallel, connecting two DGs in parallel to share the existing load on these two DGs equally. So this is called as a synchronizing operation. Normally this operation is be carried out automatically. The PLC will take care. It will send so many parameters before connecting these DGs in parallel. In case if it is not working, then we should know, the operator should know how to run this operation, how to handle this operation manually. I think this is a brief information